Have you ever stopped to think about what really happens when you sleep with your dog every night? It might seem like just a sweet habit, a way to feel closer to your four-legged best friend. But what if we told you that this simple gesture could have deep effects, both positive and negative, on your health and your pet's behavior? Most people don't even realize it, but sharing your bed with a dog goes way beyond comfort and cuteness. There are studies, real-life experiences, and fascinating facts that show how this habit can influence your physical and emotional well-being. Does it help you sleep better? Or could it be messing with your rest without you even noticing? And what about your pup? Is it good for them too, or could it lead to unhealthy dependence? In today's video, we're diving into this curious world full of details that hardly anyone talks about. If you're the kind of person who can't fall asleep without your dog by your side, or if you're thinking about starting this habit, stick with us until the end, because what you're about to learn might completely change the way you and your pet share bedtime. Emotional bond. It might seem like just a loving gesture, but sleeping with your dog goes way beyond that. This shared moment has a direct and powerful impact on the bond between the two of you, and on both of your emotional health. When you lie down next to your dog and fall asleep together, your body releases a hormone called oxytocin, known as the love hormone. It's linked to building emotional bonds, feelings of safety, empathy, and overall well-being. It's the same hormone that strengthens the connection between a mother and her baby, between romantic partners, and of course, between humans and their pets. Several studies show that just having a pet nearby can lower cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and boost oxytocin production. In other words, just having your dog close at bedtime helps your body naturally start to relax. And the benefits aren't just for you. For your dog, sleeping next to their human is a way to feel protected and part of the pack. In the wild, dogs sleep in groups to stay safe. When your dog curls up beside you, they're tapping into that instinct to belong to a pack. This helps reduce anxiety and promotes a more balanced emotional state. This kind of contact is especially valuable for dogs that suffer from separation anxiety. Being close to you at night can prevent destructive behavior, whining, or restlessness when you leave the house. It's a way to reinforce that they're safe and not alone. Plus, this habit of sleeping together strengthens your relationship during the day too. Dogs that feel emotionally connected to their humans tend to be more obedient, confident, and calm in new situations. Of course, every dog has its own personality. Some prefer to sleep in their own space, and that's totally fine. But if your dog loves being close, know that this simple gesture might be doing a world of good for their heart and yours. But could this affectionate habit have any downsides when it comes to your sleep or health? Sleep quality. The truth is, sleeping with a dog can affect the quality of your sleep, in both good and bad ways. And that's something science has already looked into. Researchers have followed people who sleep with their pets and found that, while having a dog in bed can increase your sense of safety, it can also disrupt your sleep. Dogs move around at night, change positions, snore, lick their paws, and even dream. If you're a light sleeper, this might wake you up several times without you even realizing it. On top of that, the space your dog takes up in bed can lead you to adopt awkward sleeping positions, which might result in muscle pain or that feeling of waking up tired. But that doesn't mean you have to kick your dog out of bed. If you sleep well, wake up feeling rested, and are comfortable, that's great. But if you wake up sore, toss and turn all night, or feel constantly tired, it might be time to rethink the setup. A simple tip is to let your dog sleep in the same room, but in their own bed, close to you. That way, you keep the emotional bond while minimizing the impact on your sleep. Another option is to train your dog to sleep at the foot of the bed instead of near your head, where they're more likely to disturb you. And if your dog is the type that barks at every little noise or gets restless during the night, that can also interfere with your deep sleep phase, which is the most important for your body and mind to recover. So, while sleeping with your dog can bring emotional comfort, if it's affecting your physical health, it might be time to adjust the habit with love and healthy boundaries. Mental health. Have you ever noticed how your dog seems to know when you're not feeling okay? They come closer, lean on you, give you that calm, understanding look. That's not just a coincidence. Living with dogs has a direct impact on our mental health, and that effect becomes even stronger when we share moments of rest, like bedtime. Sleeping with your dog can work like a kind of natural therapy. That's because, in addition to the oxytocin release we already talked about, just having your dog next to you reduces the production of cortisol, the stress hormone, and that has a direct effect on easing anxiety, insomnia, and even mild cases of depression. Many psychologists and therapists already recognize the role of animals as emotional support. In fact, people who suffer from generalized anxiety disorder or panic disorder often say that having their dog in bed helps regulate their breathing, lower their heart rate, and calm down during nighttime episodes. That companionship at night helps create a sense of routine and predictability. Knowing that you're going to lie down and your dog will be right there beside you brings an emotional calm that's hard to explain, but very easy to feel. Children and elderly people benefit a lot from this kind of bond. Kids are less afraid of sleeping alone, and older adults report fewer episodes of insomnia and loneliness when they sleep with a dog nearby. The feeling of affection, companionship, and comfort that a dog brings is something very few things in life can offer. Sharing that moment at night is a great remedy after a tough day. Hygiene and physical health. Sleeping with your dog can be comforting and full of emotional benefits, but when it comes to physical health, it's important to stay alert. Even though they're part of the family, dogs are still animals. And that means they can carry a variety of microorganisms from the outside world right into your bed. Dust mites, fungi, bacteria, and even parasites like fleas and ticks can be present in your dog's fur, paws, or even saliva. And those organisms can end up on your pillow, your sheets, and in direct contact with your skin. This risk increases if your dog has access to the street, backyards, or areas with dirt and grass. People with respiratory allergies, skin conditions, low immunity, or chronic illnesses should be especially careful. In these cases, sleeping with your dog can trigger allergic reactions, skin irritations, and even more serious infections. There's also the risk of so-called zoonoses, diseases that can be transmitted from animals to humans. These are more common when the dog's health isn't up to date, especially if they're not properly vaccinated or dewormed. But that doesn't mean you have to ban your furry friend from the bed. Most of the time, with a few basic precautions, this habit can continue safely. The key is to keep vaccinations and deworming up to date, bathe your dog regularly, clean their paws after walks, and change your bedding more often than usual. It's also a good idea to avoid letting your dog sleep in your bed if they're sick, have open wounds, skin infections, or are undergoing treatment. And if you suffer from frequent allergies or respiratory issues, it's worth talking to an allergist. In short, sleeping with your dog can still be that special moment of connection, as long as you take care of their health and your own. Canine behavior. But what about from your dog's point of view? Does this habit have any effect on their behavior? The answer is yes. And the impact can be either positive or negative, depending on your dog's personality, how the habit was formed, and the dynamic between the two of you. For many dogs, sleeping with their human reinforces a sense of belonging. They feel like part of the pack, protected, and close to the person they trust the most. This can boost emotional security, reduce destructive behaviors, and even improve obedience in daily life. But on the flip side, there's a risk that not many people are aware of: reinforcing possessiveness. Some dogs, especially those that are more needy or insecure, may start to see the bed and their human as exclusive territory. This can lead to overly protective behaviors, like growling at anyone who comes near the bed, not letting others lie down, or even developing separation anxiety when their human leaves the room or goes on a trip. Another important point is that if your dog has been sleeping with you since they were a puppy and was never taught to be alone, they might struggle to sleep elsewhere in the future, like at a boarding facility, or in situations where sharing the bed isn't possible. The result can be stress, sleepless nights, and a dog that's overly dependent. That's why it's important to watch for signs. If your dog sleeps with you and maintains balanced behavior, No signs of possessiveness, aggression, or excessive dependence. Great. That means the bond is healthy. But if you notice they get irritated when someone approaches the bed, become restless when sleeping apart, or have trouble adapting to changes, it might be time to rethink the routine. And remember, setting boundaries doesn't mean you love them any less. Dogs who understand that they can have their own space and still be loved and respected tend to be more secure, calm, and confident. So, is sleeping with your dog right or wrong? The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. It depends on your health, your dog's behavior, your sleep quality, and how this habit fits into your routine. When done with care, hygiene, and clear boundaries, this moment can be extremely positive and strengthen the bond between you and your pet even more. The most important thing is that both of you feel comfortable and healthy. Sleeping together isn't a rule, it's a choice. And when that choice is made with awareness and affection, it can become one of the most special parts of your day. So, does your dog sleep with you too? What's that experience like? Share it with us in the comments. If this video helped you, leave a like, send it to other pet parents, and subscribe to the channel for more tips on behavior, health, and the well-being of our four-legged companions. Thanks for watching, and may you have a great night's sleep, with or without paws in the bed.